because you and Shami linked up and then you sort of went separate ways. What year was that?
Jake Paul jumped on Logan Paul's podcast, was hanging out at Dan Bilzerian's house. Like I made that flip the switch video, which you couldn't see like up close penetrating or anything, but it looks like we're fucking.
It's Friday, then we going live again. So get your snorkels out and let me see some skits. Smoke tires, not drugs, what we teach the kids. I can't man, castrate that rapper, middle finger to the sky, scream fuck, rap the bit, cops running.
Hello everyone.
We got Jackson here. I jumped on Jackson's potty and I think it was a good chat. So now he's returning the favour. Jumping on mine.
It's an absolute pleasure, sir. And let me start off by saying big congratulations on the launch of your flip side.
Thanks, sir.
I saw the website crashed. Good problems to have, but that's absolutely amazing. I'm stoked for you and very impressive.
Thanks, bro. It was fucking, it's always nervous when you go live with something because you're like...
But everything you guys touch turns to gold. I don't know how nervousness would exist in your bones.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. So how's the gum going?
Gum's going good, man. Yeah, we're about to go into a whole bunch of new petrol stations. Our exclusive contract with Ampol is practically up. They're going to renew, so we'll stay at Ampol, but it's not going to be exclusive to Ampol. So hopefully the next month or two, you'll see it in BP, 7-Eleven, Shell, Coles Express and stuff like that. So,
well, that actually leads me into, I obviously did a Q&A if a lot of people want to ask, here's your chance to ask Jackson. One of the most popular things is people was asking what's he doing for like money or business now. Obviously you were doing OnlyFans, you're doing you're making money off Facebook at like revenue. Did you ever make much on social revenue? Like Instagram, you can't monetize on, can you?
Well, obviously you can do the occasional brand deals and get paid for certain posts and promotions and stuff like that.
But not off the platform itself.
Not off the platform. There is monetization and monetizing sort of things and features at the moment. Like you can get in-stream ads now on content. Like same as YouTube and Facebook. I think it has to be over 90 seconds.
Yep.
There's like all the GIFs and badges and crap like that. I haven't looked into it that much. I don't really look at Instagram as such as a money earning tool. Just for a bit of fun, really, these days. I just treat Instagram just like a Snapchat account almost. Just have some fun stories, post shit I enjoy, lifestyle, traveling, crazy shit. It's not very consistent with the type of content, but I just like to post shit I enjoy.
You can't do crazy shit 24/7, can you?
Nah.
It burns you out.
Nah, not at all. But yeah, Facebook still makes really good money.
For like, so if you get heaps of views, they'll pay you for like ad rev.
Yeah, like say if you get 10 million views, that could be 10 to 20,000 USD.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Actual.
Yeah. And if I'm posting multiple videos a day and they're going well, then the money starts building up. So yeah.
What's the most you've made off a Facebook video?
Off one video?
Yeah, or maybe or Facebook on a month? Or
the biggest month I've done on Facebook was about 190,000.
Fuck off.
Yeah, USD.
Well, you just got a few banger viral videos went out.
Yeah, I remember this is when I was living in America in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was going pretty hard. I posted like a prank compilation, it was actually like an old prank compilation. Just did a bit of a repost, just threw some new stuff, some old stuff, made a really wild prank compilation. I think that got about maybe 80 million views. So there was about 90 to 100K just on that one video. And then when something goes really viral, as you would also know, like it grows other videos.
Yeah, because people look for more.
Yeah, so like a heap of other videos just kind of took off again out of nowhere. And yeah, like you'd have 10 to 20 videos getting another couple of million views and the page grew a lot. So yeah, Facebook's good.
That's fucking hectic. And 2020, did you have OF then?
Yeah, that was when I was living in America with Maddie back. Fuck, it's been over 4 years. How crazy is that?
Fuck, so you were just fucking rolling in there.
Yeah, and it was funnily enough, it was around the first couple of months of doing OnlyFans back 4 years ago, or whenever that was. Our second month on OnlyFans was about 460,000 USD. So that with Facebook and a few other things I was doing to make money, like selling meth and shit, it was a very profitable month for me.
Oh God, you're gonna get raided after this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh fuck. So in 2020 you were living with Maddie because obviously you've already answered like most common questions. How much
podcast is done, guys.
Finished
next time.
Right, thanks, guys. What happened with so people asking, they were asking about your biggest month, which you already talked about, OnlyFans, this, that. Actually, that was fucking crazy. I didn't know you then because I was still living in Melbourne.
We talked before.
Just a bit of Instagram chit chat.
And we met the same year that I was actually living in America because we came back to Oz late 2020. You had a party at Jeremy's old house.
Yeah.
Then we had New Year's there all together. Then we kind of just were all friends since then. So,
but I remember that video, the flick the switch.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I didn't know you then, like personally, and everyone was just fucking sending it to me going, have you seen this cunt's video? And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, that was like when it was like OnlyFans was like, no one had it.
Yeah.
Like it was like fucking people are what the fuck.
Oh, bro, I copped a lot of shit. And then I copped a lot of shit when I started social media too. You know, without trying to be too arrogant or anything, I think I was early to the party with a few things, you know what I mean? Like I would like
definitely.
to think that someone like yourself and me and a few other content creators, we were kind of early day content creators in Oz anyway. You know, when I started making videos, it's been 10 years now. I started doing videos 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, I copped a lot of shit from people like, oh, you're attention seeking, oh, waste of time. I can't believe cringe, corny, you're this, you're that. You're never going to make money through this. I just had to kind of deal with that. Now every single person on planet Earth makes fucking videos for their business or for their content or for their brands or whatever it is, you know? And it was a weird thing for me to witness that, to witness like social media kind of evolve over the years from anyone that makes videos is just like cringy and corny and desperate and this to now like, oh, hey guys, like everyone has to do videos.
Yeah, you have to now. Like if you don't have video content, how the fuck do you push a business? But like you also pretty early on, because you weren't just making videos, you were doing like all platforms. So I remember you were doing like YouTube vlogs, you're on Facebook, you're on fucking Instagram, and like not many people went that hard back in the day. Like now you're like, fuck, I've got to be on everything. But back then, like I reckon you were I remember seeing your shit pop up all the time, and like I didn't understand why. Like I'm like, fuck, that's funny as fuck. But I was like, how the fuck is he going to make money off this? Like, and then it just turned into fucking now like content creators are like the key to anything. Like if you have a business, you need a good content creator.
People like sleep on me a little bit. You know, I think people just see the crazy side and the shit I do and just think that I'm an idiot. And, you know, I am an idiot. I'm a fucking moron. You know, I'm just a degenerate. But I did do my research and I looked into a few things, you know, like I was living in the UK in 2012. I moved over there when I was 18 by myself, did a year and a half working holiday over there. I was like seeing reports of like, okay, Facebook user rates. This is like 2011 or 2012 or something. And the rates were just fucking going massive. I didn't really know much about YouTube or Vine or anything. I was like, shit, I'm making a Facebook like thing. I'm going to make videos now. I just saw it was going up like fucking from a couple of million people to 100 million to 300 million in a matter of months. You know, I was like, eventually this is going to take over television, radio, newspapers. It's going to become a place for businesses, brands, public figures, celebrities, whatever it might be to promote, to run ads, to make money, to make content, to be creative, to connect with their fans. And I just saw where it was going and I said, fuck it. I'm going all in on this. I wasn't very good at school. You know, I didn't have much direction when I left school. I was doing bricklaying. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was just playing
Were you
footy.
working in a pub or was it your old man's pub or something?
No, I was working with my dad doing tiling, like labouring, helping him out. And I was also working in pubs in my hometown, just copying shit from people. I was like, oh, being internet famous, not paying the bills, is it?
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck off, cunt. Fuck off. I hope you're watching. All them people. Fuck them all, honestly. Like, I'm not a petty person, but it is nice. It is nice to...
I copped the same thing. I remember when I dropped out of uni to go like play with cars, like, you know, lower them, change wheels, do this and that. And I had that many people in my area going, fucking, you're a dumb cunt. Giving up a uni degree to go fucking play with cars. Like, you know, and it ended up fucking being mad for me. But
you should go back to uni.
I don't know how much uni actually does these days for people.
Oh, I don't even know, yeah.
I don't know how relevant it is, but yeah, so I guess it's good to talk about that because I hear a lot of people just say, oh, fuck, Jackson got lucky, he just went viral. I'm like, pretty sure he would have done videos that got 3 likes on it when he started.
Oh, bro, the first year of making videos was just unseen. It wasn't actually like, the goal was never to like make money or get some form of internet fame or anything like that. It was just, I love making videos. I love making people laugh. I like just creeping people out a little bit. You know, I grew up on Jackass. We would have watched the same shit growing up. MTV, Viva La Bam, like
Bam and shit.
all these shows, you know, and I loved listening to Eminem. I like people like Tom Green, all these wild comedians and dark humor and just fucked up shit. As a kid, I really enjoyed that. And as I got older, I was like, what can I do? Yeah. What can I do to like even, I just said to myself, if I can even make a few $100s a week from just being an idiot online, amazing. I will live off that the remainder of my life and be happy.
That's crazy.
I was just blessed enough to have it really take off and make significant amounts of money to the point now where I've been able to pretty much retire my mum, buy a house here for my dad and his family and stuff to live in, set myself up nicely. I've traveled the world. I've met so many good people. Like, honestly, man, like, I am just so content and happy with the way my life turned out.
Yeah, bro. I always tell people about some of the stories, like when they, you know, say, oh, well, Jackson, what about this or that? And I'm like, yeah, he's done some crazy shit, blah, blah. And like, I start thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, if you didn't get into your industry, you wouldn't have been able to do like you've done money can't buy experiences. Like, you know, you were saying you were living at fucking Dan Bilzerian's house and shit.
Oh, I was training there when I was living in America.
Yeah,
I was training at his house during
bro,
COVID.
like even that, like, fuck, man, how many people would pay any money to fucking just go check out his house and meet him and do that? And you're like, yeah, just go on the gym.
Yeah, bro, I was pretty lucky to fall into some good circles out there and meet some pretty well connected people. You know, like filmed with Jake Paul, jumped on Logan Paul's podcast, you know, was hanging out at Dan Bilzerian's house. Like, not that the goal was to ever be around famous people or cool people. I'm not a groupie. I'm not like that. I don't think that that's the most important thing. But naturally, it's just the path that it went down, you know. It's like one thing leads to another. Okay, LA's popping for social media content creators. I'm just an up-and-coming Aussie guy. No one out there knows who the fuck I am. I'm going to go spend a few months out there and just try my luck and just message a few people that I like their shit. Try collab with them, try make a name for myself out there.
Is that how you ended up linking up with them?
Yeah, well, 2018, I went over to, I'll try to wrap this story up quickly, but I mean, it's also a podcast, so fuck it. Went to Austria, did a brand deal with Red Bull. At the time, me and Shami, we got paid to go do a brand deal with Red Bull. And when I was out there, bro, I honestly was at a very low point in life with my mental health, with my physical health especially. My back was fucked, mental state was shocking. I wasn't necessarily making money at this point. I still hadn't really made a lot of money from social media.
Just starting to like get known, but
just
not
making
make money.
enough. Yeah, exactly. This is 2018, doing vlogs and stuff like that. I had already had millions and millions of followers online on multiple platforms. And I had this random realization, like, is this everything? Like, is this what I really wanted? You know what I mean? I just was questioning so many things. I went through a pretty bad breakup. All my back pain was just leading me down crazy different things as chronic pain can. It's exhausting, it's fatiguing, and you're taking different drugs and pain pills to kind of help just to get around, which create new problems. And, you know, I was in a bad state. But anyways, we were in Austria doing a brand deal, and then I just thought, I'm not happy back home. What the fuck can I do? I said, fuck it. I've got like $4,000 in my account. I'm going to go to the UK because it was a couple hours flight from Austria. We're all the way already out there. And I thought, you know what, fuck it. So I went to the UK by myself. Shami and the other boys went back to Oz. I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to go wing it. If I lose all my money, cool, I'll go home and make it again. Went over to the UK, paid for 10 nights in a hostel by myself. And then I was just living off like just eating shit, whatever. And I messaged about 20 content creators in the UK just to try and collab. Only one person wrote back, and that was Kristen Hamby. Me and Kristen linked up probably like within a few days. Bro, the first video we did, I can't remember exactly what it was called, maybe Wear or Dare or something like that. And that video got like maybe 10 million views, and I grew like 50K on Instagram in one day.
Fuck.
And me and him were just together for 3-4 months living in the UK. And
How big was his following when you reached out, and how big was yours?
I think he had about maybe 1 mil or just over a mil on Instagram, and I had about 300 or 400K on Instagram. Yeah. And bro, within 3-4 months of me and him making daily videos, and they were going so fucking viral over there, bro. Like, I think I got to like 3 mil in a matter of 3 or 4 months, and he was at 4 or 5 mil. And then I came back to Oz just to tidy a few things up back home, and I was in a good place. You know, I found some good people. I found a good wave. I found the content that I was enjoying. I found growth. I found more money in it, and came back to Oz for a couple of weeks just to tidy a few things up. And then I went back over to America with Kristen, and we just booked a cheap little spot there in Hollywood, and we just linked up, filmed with like Supreme Patty back in the day, David Dobrik, Bradley Martin, the Nelk Boys.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, bro. We're at Jake Paul's house with the Raka twins just fucking around in the boxing ring. Like, it was a wild few months, and it really, that year alone, 2018 might be the biggest, like a very pivot, like it was just
opened your to
a very
see,
crucial
fuck, what you can do.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, man, like these people in these other countries are actually liking what I do. People want to work with me. They like it. My shit was going up, and Facebook brought in monetization that year. So I was like, sick, now I can make money on Facebook. Yeah, bro, from there on out, like me and Kristen stayed homies. We've been good boys ever since. Never had an issue once.
That's hectic. And like you said, you know, you're not a groupie. You don't care about fucking this and that, but it comes down to networking with people in your industry. If you're in the automotive industry, obviously you're going to reach out to people who are successful in automotive, or if you're an entrepreneur and you want to go to entrepreneurial things. And in your case, and I found that a lot because I've been in the half zone. I've been like a content creator, but I'm also like, I've always run my own like businesses.
Entrepreneur, businessman, everything, yeah.
Yeah. So when I moved here, I did the same. That's why I hit you up. Shami, fucking, like I just noticed a lot of content creators were here on the Gold Coast. And what it does is like, I think same thing, not being a groupie, it helps you network and leverage and work together to go, I might have come up with or thought of something that you hadn't, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And then, or when you collaborate and you grow each other's audiences, it's a no-brainer to do it.
Well, when everyone can put their pride and ego aside and work together and, you know, combine resources and knowledge and connections and ideas, it can just snowball effect and everyone can rise together and do well. And I think there's a fine line between a groupie as opposed to like networking and business and friends and stuff like that. I think groupies like over in America or here, people just want to come to parties and hang out just so they can put on their Instagram story, oh, look who I'm around kind of thing. Whereas someone like yourself or me, we might go to an event that's filled with a bunch of wealthy people or like successful business people or content creators, and we're there because like, cool, if we all vibe and we click, we get along, cool, let's fucking do some shit together. You know, that's definitely different. There's a better motive behind that. There's productive reasons and more genuine reasons.
Yeah, it's like I can help you and you can help me, and you know, I know this, but you don't know that, but I can do it. And I think, I think you proved. I think that's probably like looking back, because it seems like other countries, content creators have always been held a bit higher in respect than Australia.
Oh, definitely.
So like, I feel like once you went overseas and you saw how well people were doing and how well they were respected, it would have also given you motivation to come back here and send it. Because I'd always, like growing up, I don't know now because I'm a bit out of like vlogs and that, but growing up, I never really, like when you look at how famous like Nelk Boys got and how famous Logan Paul got, I don't know anyone in Australia that got that famous from vlogging, and I don't know if it's possible. Like I know, like I see, what's her name? The Anna Paul chick. She does like meet and greets, and they look fucking hectic. But that seems pretty rare for an Aussie creator. Like, so like you going and hang out.
Also,
with
you've
them.
got to look at demographic differences as well. You look at someone like Nelk, for example. It's like that frat party college kind of vibe. Young guys growing up in their teen years or early 20s who like to drink, like to do these things. It's like, yeah, let's send it, boys, blah, blah, blah. Someone like Anna Paul as well. She might have like a real cult audience, and it's a massive audience of young girls. I don't know what her age demographic would be like. I've never watched any of these people's things or anything like that. Always happy to see people do well wherever they're from. But you look at like the type of audience difference, and it's just like young girls, young kids, whatever it is. Same as like Jake and Logan Paul when they were making content years ago, their vlogs, all their audience was just so young. And that's when you get these screaming kids lining up and selling out malls for meet and greets.
You are right. Like, and when you're young, you've got that time to sit on YouTube and just go through 10 vlogs in one day and stuff like that. But I feel like you going and seeing these, like in 2018, putting yourself out there, networking, that would have really opened your eyes. You would have been like, you would have seen the lifestyle these guys are living and, you know, making money and being, even I noticed in America, I remember this spun me out. I think it was 2018, 2019. I was sitting in line and for this club in Vegas, and I was just scrolling my Instagram, and this chick behind me, she's like, what the fuck? Look how many followers you got. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, why are you lining up? I'm like, I was like, what do you mean? She's like, just go show them how many followers you get and you won't. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. That is the gayest, well, nothing wrong with gay, but that is the silliest thing ever. I'm not doing that. And I was like, I was thinking about the next day. I'm like, what a different world we live in where they understand the power of getting like, you know, people with a following in straight into the club, get them in, get them posting, bring their audience in. In Australia, if you went up to a bouncer and said, hey, this is my followers, they'd laugh.
Don't post anything in here. You're banned for life. Fuck off. Die. but no, like that is true though, bro. I learned that in America, like social media or like clout, if you will, the corny word clout, you know, it is a form of currency over there. You know, having a following in certain countries is its own form of currency because people will get offered free meals, free bottles at clubs, free products, free clothes, free this, free trips.
Free cars, free fucking...
And it started happening in Australia a bit as of recently.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
it's definitely became...
It's always behind in every industry, and I think that's one industry was behind because I can't remember the statistics, but it was like, you know, 80% of businesses, they're predicted to fail if they don't have some sort of genuine and high-end content creation or content creators of a part of it. And you look at like these guys like Mr. Beast, you know, if you said 10 years ago, a YouTuber will come on and take on fucking Nestle and that.
Oh, bro.
You'd laugh. But now he's fucking just brought out chocolate. And
He's the most
destroying
subscribed.
them.
He's the most subscribed YouTuber in the world now, as of recently. I think like a week or two ago.
Yeah, it's fucking... And obviously he's an extreme example, but it just shows that, man, even us with these drinks, we're up against drinks that have been around for 20 years and we're fucking giving it a crack because...
Oh, bro, yeah, they've had 20 years of backing behind them and all these things to do what they're doing, and you guys have been around for a couple of years with social media, you know what I mean? And it's a great point. Like, social media is so powerful now. Like, and I've like I said before, like witnessing the evolvement also of like watching social media evolve, I guess, over the years, for me, it was like back in the day, if I walked into a building, oh, fuck, Jackson. Oh, mate, can you leave? No cameras, no filming, no nothing.
Yeah.
And then in a matter of years, it's like, Jackson, come in, please. Oh, make sure you tag us on here.
Yeah.
Oh, just get a photo out the front. Let's promote our business. And I'm like, bro, 2 years ago I came and you told me to fuck off. You called the cops and banned me. Go eat my fucking little 1-inch cock. That's being generous. 0.5-inch cock. Spit on that thing.
So yeah, you've been through the whole you've watched the whole like generation of social media come from being nothing to like almost it's a necessity now. Come back.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's fucking awesome that you've been able to like, you know, ride that wave and then also make the most of it. And I guess that leads people to ask me because you've done some pivotal things with the prank videos were nuts. So you know, you've gone from even fucking working at the pub, trying to make videos, they blow up, and then how did you and Shami end up did you start the prank videos together, or were you both doing prank videos and then you met up?
Yeah, I guess I was probably maybe 2 years into making videos, maybe just over. I believe Shami was probably around the same, to be honest, maybe a year into making content. I think I was doing stuff a little bit before him, but not a lot before him. And yeah, he was doing a bit of public stuff from memory, just like public pranking and like just kind of trolling people and stuff. I did a bit of that too. I did a lot of like little skits and like relatable sketches and stuff like that when I first started. Like just making fun of certain niches and demographics, like, I don't know, like Instagram model girls, Snapchat girls, all these things, you know. And we just randomly linked up, started shooting pranks, and, you know,
we both on the Gold Coast?
No, he was in Brizzy. I was down in Newcastle.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And-
fuck. So you went out of your way
Yeah,
to
he
link
reached
up.
out and just said, I'd love to like shoot some content, blah, blah, blah. And I hadn't collaborated with anybody at that point. And I don't think he had either. And we just linked up. And yeah, we just spent some time together, and the pranks just naturally were just happening. We were just fucking with each other. It was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just took off, man. We did some fucking gnarly shit back in the day too. So
Yeah, I remember there was this stage, I don't know what year it would have been, but my Facebook feed was filled with like, it was like the old school shit where like, have you seen my box? And
Yeah.
you
you have a nice
out of the
cock
car.
and stuff like that. We'd have a chicken behind them.
Or like taking clothes off people and then driving off and like being full naked on a main
Oh, bro,
highway.
I did so many nudie runs through public, through the gyms, by the beach. Like, bro, we like did some really, really wild shit. And
You couldn't even post that shit now.
hell no, bro. He had like a trans lady, man, I can't even remember what it was then, but like come in and sit on my face with the balls out and everything in Thailand. And he just had to put a tiny blur on it. You could still see everything else. And like, bro, just the shit you could get away with posting back in the early days was just fucked. Like, he threw up on me while I was sleeping. I pissed on him while he was, you know, like I poured petrol on him and shit. Like, bro, it was just...
That's definitely made the content creation harder is A, people just cancelling people over anything they don't like. B, the restrictions and guidelines on like TikTok, Facebook and that, the music copyright shit, it's definitely gotten harder and
Well, this
harder
brings me
and
back
harder.
to, again, like this is another thing that I've mentioned multiple times, watching social media evolve over the years. There wasn't money in the beginning. When we were doing that shit, there was no money in it.
Yeah.
You know, and now that there's money in it, there's advertisement companies, which means now you need to be advertisement sort of friendly, the same as television or radios or newspapers. And once money and sponsoring and advertisements were involved, then it's like, okay, now we're aware there's a lot of kids here. We're targeting kids now with toy commercials.
Yeah, we don't want to see Jackson get pissed on.
Yeah,
in
we don't
between
want to
the
see
ad.
fucking this guy running down the street naked holding his
Yeah.
little tiny pecker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just got more strict, which took a lot of the fun away from me. A lot of people ask me, oh, why don't you make content as regularly anymore? And I always just say, look, this does sound a little bit arrogant, I think, but I genuinely believe I finished the game of social media quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago even, you know what I mean? And it just became okay, I've done everything I believe I can do. I exceeded my expectations. I did very well. Yes, I can keep chasing forever ending numbers of, okay, now I've got 3 million followers, 5 million followers, 10 million followers, but what the fuck does that mean at the end of the day? You know what I mean? I appreciate all the followers and the fans and the audience and the support, but it's not the be all end all. I just want to live a good life. I had my spine surgery 2 years ago, and since then I've just been so happy, so healthy, so calm, so consistently I'm just doing shit I enjoy. I'm traveling a lot, I'm meeting good people. I'm still making some content here and there. It's definitely not as viral and popping and cool as it once was, but I'm not chasing that, bro. I'm just chasing like just feeling good physically, mentally, and surrounding myself with good people. And
that's the number one priority, isn't it?
yeah, and I fucking feel better right now than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
And
I've noticed too, bro, even like your like manner, demeanor. Fuck, I remember there was a stage I'd ring you and you were asleep at 10 a.m. still.
oh,
like,
bro, I was in a bad spot years ago. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people don't know. I was on antidepressants for a while, and I haven't really spoken publicly about it a lot. I was taking one called Zoloft. It was a SSRI, which is like a serotonin kind of uptake. It just keeps more serotonin in the brain. I was in a bad spot, maybe 2019, 2020-ish. And yeah, I was on them for a couple of years, bro. And it just numbed me and made me a lot worse. I didn't realize how worse it did make me until kind of I got off it.
Yeah.
And bro, it is fucking so hard to get off. It is literally one of the hardest things to get off. The way you feel when you stop is, bro, I swear I felt like I was going to die. And
yeah, well, you would have been used to like an uptake in serotonin, and then it wears off, and you feel like
facts.
a piece of shit.
And you don't realize, the doctors won't tell you how many things interact with it. Like you can't have grapefruit if you're on it, you know what I mean? Because it detoxes, you can't have activated charcoal. You can't do certain things. And someone spiked me with MDMA, which is fine. I would laugh about that normally. But someone spiked me with MDMA in Mexico, and I was hospitalized for like 6 days because that can almost kill you, you know?
Fuck.
And yeah, it caused a lot of different...
Would be like another boost
Exactly
of
right, exactly right. And another thing, you know, it causes weight gain, even problems in the sexual side of things, whether maybe you can't finish or can't get it up or anything like that. It kills your libido.
Fuck, that's hectic.
It definitely can mask that really dulled down depression sort of feeling you've got, and it can bring back things like your appetite and a bit more of excitement to life, but it definitely numbs the high things. It just keeps you in that middle ground.
Yeah,
and for me,
true.
bro, I got ADHD. I'm naturally highly energetic. I'm an excited, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Normally, I wasn't back then, but... It just oppressed my kind of natural personality. And it took a long time for me to come right, even when I stopped taking it. I'm not against them. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, the government's trying to kill you. It's just like, if you take them and it helps you, amazing.
Yeah.
If you take them and you don't like them, try find a different option. You know what I mean? Because I personally will never go near it again.
Well, I did notice, like, even since I've been hanging out with you, sometimes I'll talk to you and you'll be in such a good state, and sometimes I can tell you're not in a good state. And I've noticed, like, you know, there was like a stage when I met you, and then there was a stage where you're with Maddie, then there was a stage where that you bought that massive house, and it sort of turned into like, it was good, but it sort of turned into like a fucking bender house, and like, you know, it was just like the party house, and then you were like up and down, and then breakups, and like I've noticed, like, you know, I can see on the outside even when you don't say anything, I'm like, just tell if he's getting up at 10 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. I know what state you're in. Or
oh, mate, that house was like a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? It was like the great uncle in Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility. And bro, that house was fucking wild. I regret nothing. It was amazing. But yeah, bro, I was vicious, toxic lifestyle, just drugs, alcohol, partying, women, not taking care of myself. And, you know, I'm not going to justify it. It's completely my fault. But, you know, the fact, because of my back, no one realizes how bad my back was. You know, it was fully degenerated discs at the bottom, prolapsed, herniating, whatever you call it. You know, I could barely straighten my body unless I was on strong painkillers. I couldn't walk. I had no good quality of physical life. I was still going to the gym every day, just in agony, you know, like, but
I think because of the way you joke about serious things, people start to, they don't know.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You know, you're like, my back's broken.
Yeah.
But if someone else's back was broken, they'd be like, dude, my fucking back is broken. Because you're like, they'll be like,
well, I can just mask things well.
Yeah,
you know,
you
I've
do
learned,
have like
I've learned to do that.
a dark sense of humor on, like, you know, sometimes serious things, and then you sort of like, you'll still make cunts laugh about it.
And bro, that's the thing. With all this chronic pain, it just leads to so many issues. It's not just, oh, poor you've got a bit of a backache. It's like, no, it's got a lot of things. I grew up playing a lot of football, a lot of rugby. I was a very active guy. I love going to the gym. I like keeping fit and healthy and strong. And, you know, when you're not able to even like walk around without being in pain, you're hunched over and you can't lift heavy weights or run or play sports, it affects your confidence a bit. And then you're relying on pain pills to kind of put you out of pain to then help you even just move properly. Then it ruins your gut health, and everyone knows your gut and brain health are very linked, and then your gut health's fucked, and your mental health's fucked, and then you get a dependency on pain drugs, and then when you stop taking them, you feel worse. It's just a never-ending vicious cycle of trying to get yourself to feel right, and nothing will. You know, I tried everything for years. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm very privileged to have had the money to at least try to fix it, you know. Bro, since that surgery, mate, it has given me my life back. I've been training like a fucking savage again, really hoping to have a boxing fight this year. Just,
Yeah, I saw that.
Just feeling so fucking good, man. And I wish I could have felt like this a bit earlier, but I think as corny as it is, you know, like I think...
It all happens for a reason.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. The universe is just doing its thing, and maybe it was just all meant to happen the way it was to teach me certain lessons. And
I mean, you're still young. How old are you?
360 months?
Yeah, so that's
30.
6 years.
30.
Yeah, see, I'm nearly 35, so you're still.
Oh, you're 390 months. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah. So, no, that's fucking. I actually do remember I broke my hand.
What are you doing, Trent?
Don't touch the camera,
Show
Trent.
me that fucking 8-foot long cock.
You can't. It's holding up the camera.
Spit on that thing.
Yeah, I actually remember I broke my hand. Long story short, I used to be obsessed with like dirt bike riding, everything. Couldn't do that, and then got told to have oxys and endone every day. And then I did about 3 weeks on oxys and endone.
Do you have any?
And then, no, I ate them all. And then, I remember the same thing where I threw them in the bin and then I started throwing up and shit, got real sick. I'm like, fuck, I need to get more.
Mate, you think that was bad? Antidepressants, when you stop them, your brain's like jolting. You have brain zaps. You have no appetite. You're just like screaming and crying one day. Then you're overly happy and euphoric the next day. You lose weight, gain weight. Your body is in so much pain. You just in a state of like almost schizophrenia, bro. Like it was fucking crazy. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And if there's anyone out there struggling, whether they're on it or not on it, I don't know. I feel like I just want people to know it's corny as it might sound, that it's okay to feel that way. You're not broken. You're not like damaged. It's just fucking just a thing through life that everyone deals with. And I think it's healthy to speak about it to people. You don't have to go and sit down with a tripod at the beach and film yourself every day and post your motivational quotes. I think just basic things: get some sun, get a bit of exercise, eat some good food, take some supplements, speak to your family and friends. Just do things that make you happy. I think there's a lot of things that don't cost money that can really help improve someone's mental health. I think everyone thinks, oh, it's easy for you to say when you've got money. But no, a lot of the most powerful things to help your mind can be free. So
I agree. Even because obviously I used to live in Melbourne my whole life. It will be like dark clouds for 10 days straight. And then one sunny day comes where it's like this, where the sun's out. Bro, everyone's attitude on the street, hey, mate, how are you? Everyone's just happier. And it's like everyone's attitude is actually different.
Oh, big time,
It's a
man.
fucking
Like
good
even when I
day.
lived in the UK for a year and a half, it was raining and cold every fucking day, and people were pretty miserable out there. Like met a lot of great people, but the average people just weren't very happy. No one would look at each other, and I was like, oh, hey, how are you? Like, you get good weather, man. You live by a beach, a bit of sun. You're blessed. You know what I mean? Like, go make the most of that nature shit. Like people like to make fun of people walking around barefoot in nature and going through the rainforest, going down the beach, going on a walk. Like that shit's so fucking good for your brain. Like it really is.
Yeah, it is, especially if you can switch off from.
And so's meth.
I don't know. I haven't tried it, and I don't know if I can agree there, but
No, I've only ever done meth once, and I was spiked with it. So like, I didn't do it by choice. I was in
this
America.
guy just gets spiked with everything.
I've only been spiked twice, I think, my whole life. One was with MDMA, which I wouldn't normally care about. Second time was meth, which I didn't really like. I went to do a bump in America. We're at some Post Malone thing, and my mate's like, hey, bro, you want to come do some blow with me in the bathroom? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to. So we went in the bathroom, and the next minute, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why does it hurt? And he goes, oh, fuck. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, I think this is meth. I'm like, oh, amazing, man. Thank you. I know what everyone's thinking. Oh, I can't believe you take drugs. At least I fucking admit it. Everyone does. Shut up. And I don't do it often. And I do enough healthy things to reverse it. So
It balances out.
exactly. Balance is key. Do a bit of meth. Do a bit of green salad.
Fuck, you've actually had some. You've actually met some hectic people. Who do you reckon's the most famous person you've hung out with?
Oh, fuck.
You've hung out with fuck, even like Riley Reid. You got her on the podcast and shit.
Yeah, obviously you got like Riley Reid, Dan Bilzerian, like the Jake Logan Paul's fucking. I have quite a few like UFC fighters and MMA guys. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. Even at some of Dan's parties, you meet quite a few people. There's people like Machine Gun Kelly, Odell Beckham Jr., like the NFL player. You meet a lot of like people like that. MGK is a weird guy. I didn't really care about that, but
crazy, bro. That like, yeah.
If I actually like my brain right now, like it's like if I actually sat down and went through my camera roll or something like that for like 5 minutes, I'd be like, oh, that's right. I met that guy here. I met that person there. Like, but yeah.
I enjoy going through your camera roll.
Oh, dude, my camera roll is fucking is wild.
I know. I've seen some shit. It will drop the clips on here.
Yeah. I want to give access to my camera roll to one lucky person.
Yeah, nothing beats the video of you come home.
I know which one this is.
You come home, briefed as, come home flying in the Range Rover. Went to do like a sick like, but the driveway was wet, so when he turned, it went straight, and he went into his house, drove a Range Rover through his own house.
What the fuck? That's not funny. What the fuck, Karen?
Took out the whole retaining wall, and there was 3 days before settlement. I was about to hand over the keys to the new owners. I'd just sold it.
And the best thing is his sister comes out, what the fuck, Jackson?
Yeah,
He's
she's
just
like-
sitting there like,
I'm laughing my head off in the car, bro. And she's like, what the fuck, cunt? It's not funny.
oh,
like-
that's the best video. Bro, I couldn't breathe. And
How
like,
do you
my
guys do that shit in cars? You make it look so easy to like do little slidey things.
I think that's why it's funny, because in your head you were like, I'm about to do something gnarly.
Bro, it looks easy.
And it just went through the house.
Bro, in movies they make it look easy. You guys make it look easy. When I play Grand Theft Auto, I do those slide car parks like I could do it with my eyes closed, and I'm like, cool. Fly up in the Range Rover, whoop, and it's just gonna slide in perfectly. But it just locked up and just went straight through the fucking house. And now I'm on the phone on a Saturday morning trying to find bricklayers and renderers and painters. I'm like, can you cancel all your jobs for extra money just to get this done? I'm handing over the keys in like less than 3 days.
It wasn't just a nudge either. Like you were in
Oh
the
no,
house.
I went straight through the fucking. Yeah, no, it was-
Like it didn't collapse on you.
yeah, no, that was shocking. I had to spend quite a bit of money on fixing the car and the house, and now no one will buy the car.
That's the best video ever.
It would have been better if it was the Ram. I reckon the Ram would have taken the whole house out.
Fuck. Yeah, it would have all gone over it. So obviously this question was inevitable when I did a Q&A. What do you reckon the most asked question was? If you had to guess. There was 2.
I reckon it's going to be probably something around either Maddie or Shami.
Because you and Shami linked up and then you sort of went separate ways. What year was that?
Fuck, man, it's been a while. Probably 3 or 4 years ago. I can't quite remember, to be honest. Yeah.
And was it like hostile, or did you just like, we'll just go our separate ways?
Yeah, I mean, it might have been a little hostile in the beginning. Like, fuck, man, you know, this is back in the mid-20s now where I'm 30. He's a bit older than me too. You know, I think in the heat of the moment, you do and say things that you don't necessarily mean, and you just don't speak logically. I think that's one thing I've mastered over the years is I've really gotten in control of my feelings, my emotions, and my words especially. You know, I'll think a bit more before I speak. Obviously, I'll be unfiltered and say fucked up shit. I don't regret saying fucked up shit, but like...
Instead of just saying something to hurt someone, you actually try and say something to work it out.
Nowadays, if someone upsets me or if I upset someone, I'm like, look, let's just take a couple of days. Let's just regroup in a couple of days and have a chat, because if we talk now, it's going to escalate. We're going to say things we don't mean. It's going to get more out of hand. I won't go too much into it. You know, it's not completely all my business to share with people. You know, like it's unfortunate what happened. We just had many disagreements. You know, I think.
Have you ever tried to reach out or?
No, I still would like to say I'm friends with his brothers and, you know, people that work with him and for him. And, you know, if I saw them out, like, cool, hey, how are you? And whatever, you know. I'm not going to live my life with holding on to grudges and bad blood and shit like that. It's just draining, and it's just a toxic way to live, you know. Like, I wish him and everyone all the best, whether we're friends or not. I wish everyone the best, and I hope everyone's happy, healthy, and doing the things they enjoy. But yeah, no, it didn't end great. It wasn't the end of the world. I've definitely had worse problems with people before.
Yeah.
I think as well too, man, you know, we were almost test dummies in the beginning. You know, I think like, as we said, there wasn't a lot of content creators here. And if there was, they weren't going as viral and as big and crazy as the shit we did. So we started off as just 2 young, humble dudes coming out of a bit of construction, labouring, bar work, whatever it is. Blew up, went well, money came involved, things came involved, some disagreements happened, some issues happened. And, you know, I wasn't perfect, neither was he. We both have our issues.
You
both
would have
have
been
our,
young too. If
Oh,
you're
bro,
only 30 now,
like
you
early
would have been
20s of this. This is, you know, I'm a totally different person. I'm a different person to what I was a year ago. I'm growing and changing at a rapid rate, and I'm happy with who I am now. I'm a lot happier with who I am now. But as I said, man, we all make mistakes. Like, he did things, I did things. You know, it's a two-way street.
If you did something together, fucking, it would.
I get a lot of messages and people still every now and then. Once if I go live or if I'm on something's like, oh, you guys should do something. Like, it is what it is, bro. You know, if I bumped into him, I'd say howdy. It is what it is. I'm not gonna fucking
You just aren't gonna
get
go out of
heated.
your way,
I'm not that fragile anymore, like mentally and stuff. It is what it is. You know, I'm.
That would be pretty cool to see. I must say, like like there's people that collab and you can see they've collaborated for like there's just a one-off collab and then they get it done. But you could see like same as me and Adrian, we have a synergy when we film where we're the same on and off camera, or we don't need a script, we don't need a fucking because we just have that like.
Sometimes you get
synergy.
lucky just and you connect with people who you click with, and it's just great chemistry. You know what you want to do, understand each other, and for the most part, me and him did. You know, like whenever we'd drink, whenever we'd hang out, it was fucking always a good time. We'd always have a good crazy time. But then it's just as we got older, as more money got involved, things happened. It just got.
Oh, it's you actually didn't realize, but you were doing business with friends.
100%.
That's hard.
And
Like,
we
doing
didn't
business
grow
with
up
friends.
as friends or anything either. You know, we kind of
Yeah.
met in the heat of it all. You know, we met like as we were both trying to come up and do things. So
Yeah.
you kind of learning about yourself and about each other through that journey. And you know, shit happens. You see a lot of shit, you hear a lot of shit, and it really does test yourself mentally and like who you are and your character and what you want in life. And like I said, man, like I'm not going to live my life with grudges and hating people. You know, it's just is what it is.
And it's like, it's funny. My old man used to say, because I've always sort of like networked and does business with people, and he used to always say, work out how you break up before you get together. And that's something I've taken on very strong. So now when I do business with someone, I'm very upfront and say, look, here's the plan. This is this. If we split, this is what happens. And then when you get, if you can agree, then that means once you start, there's nothing to disagree on because you've already. And I understand now what he meant because he was young. I was a lot younger when he said it, but everything, you know, works. And even I said to Adam at EBT, we're doing a collaboration on Gia. Mm-hmm. I said, bro, I don't want to come on sounding too fucking formal, but here's a full MOU. Here's a document. This is what you'll get. I get if we go separate ways. This is what happens. This, and we're going over that now. And if we agree now, I know that it's not going to wreck our friendship if something goes wrong because we've already laid out all the possibilities. What happens if this happens? What happens if that? And
I think that's smart and it's wise as well. And I think that's another thing that comes with a bit of age and experience too. Because as you said, you're a few years older than me. If I was who I was now to sit down to do business with people, I haven't had an issue with anyone in a very long time. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had to deal with any of that crap. So, and that's as I've gotten older, I've been able to educate myself and become a bit wiser, if you will. But in my early 20s, I wouldn't have a fucking clue, bro. I was just
you just wing it.
Winging
and
it.
that's what I said. You just wouldn't even realize at the time, but because you didn't know you were going to blow up. But you were about to be technically in a serious business together because of the earnings that were coming in. So
of course.
You get thrown in the deep end, this, that, you know, there's going to be like, you know, disagreements and stuff. So who knows? Hopefully one day you guys fucking link up, say hi and fucking, you know, put it in the past. I'm sure you will, but it's fuck. How long even we're fucking good mates, I don't even get to see it. It's just life gets fucking
we
crazy.
get busy, man. And, you know, we were very different people in our own ways as well. You know, he's a very, very hard working dude. He switched on with his business side of things. I never cared too much about the money or business side. I just was creative. I was just like, I just want to make content. I was more of a passion driven person. And that's not to say anyone else isn't, but, you know, I just, if there was like, oh, cool, here's 50 grand to make these videos for the next few months, but they're going to make you fucking miserable and you're going to hate it and your fans will hate it. I'm not going to do that. I want to do shit that I enjoy doing, whether there's money or not, because that's why I started this. You know, I didn't start this to make money out of it. As I said, I just want to make enough just to live, like pay rent in a little humble apartment somewhere and fucking and be able to go to the gym and eat some good food. That's all I ever wanted.
Well, I agree in the sense where you said you've lost, in a way, motivation because with creating content, because I've noticed it too where, say like I used to be able to post hectic skid videos. Now you post a skid video, cops come to your house, take the car, you lose your license, isn't that?
And
so
the video gets taken down and everything else.
Yeah, so and then it gets done for like TikTok will say like reckless driving, this, that. Or even like, so by the time I cut out this, cut out the swear words, cut out this, I watch over my content and I'm like, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Like by the time I've like, even this podcast, it was like, I uploaded it, said swearing, said this, said that, and I was editing it on YouTube. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not monetizing this shit. I don't give a fuck. By the time I cut out the swear words, this, that, some clips that we drop in, the podcast is shit.
You kind of go backwards with money on podcasts unless unless the goal is to land sponsorship deals, which you don't really need, or to get a Spotify deal or get some exclusive platform streaming company that's going to be like, oh, here we're going to give you a couple $100,000 a year to do your streams here. And that was for me. I didn't start my podcast because I wanted to make money out of it. It was just like, okay, I'm getting spine surgery in a few weeks. What's something that I can do content-wise that would be fun to keep me a little bit busy so I'm not just sitting around getting fucking in my own head? I started the podcast, and as you said, you know, I was spending maybe $5-6 a month to keep my podcasts going, making $0 on them. And the views on podcasts aren't high on YouTube as other content.
No, they're so long.
Exactly. And, you know, when you've got an hour or 2 hours of grown guys talking, there's going to be swearing, there's going to be stories and words that aren't monetizable. So you can't rely on YouTube AdSense for that in that matter. But I think podcasts are fun. It's just a bit of extra content to sit down. People can connect with you in a different way. Like people know you well because you do meetups, you do vlogs, you've done a bunch of talking, you do all these things. So people kind of know you and connect with you. But podcasting's different because you can actually really go into detail about yourself and other people's lives, their backgrounds, their stories. And
Yeah, instead of a 15-second story, you can actually go into a depth story. But the other thing was for me, I'd always be, people see me at a party with this person, or they'll see me at lunch with this guy, or fucking you, or Will Sparks, and this and that. And people and same thing, I'm not a clout chaser, but I just ended up just talking to like-minded people, and we just end up clicking and hanging out. And people were like, fuck, man, you should do a podcast. You hang around with these people, they'd have the best fucking stories. And then that's how we're fucking sitting here hearing about it.
That's exactly another reason why I did it also. It's just you get to just connect with good people, new people you already know, have good conversations. I was pretty close to getting Dan on my podcast when I was in America last year.
That'll be hectic.
He said yes. He's like, yeah, I'm down to jump on your podcast. Just let me know when you're going to be in Vegas, this, that, the other. I was in Vegas, doing a few things, messaged him, and he was actually overseas. But I mean, one day it might work out, one day it won't. I had Riley Reid on there, Dreekus, UFC champ. I've had some cool guests on there,
fuck yeah. I saw the Riley Reid one. That's fucking
And now that
huge.
I've been physically back to I'm feeling great. You know what I mean? It's not the top of the priority list to keep posting podcasts every week because it's time consuming, it's expensive, and all these things. It is a lot of fun though.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is.
something I do want to do.
I enjoy it.
It's just something that's not going to be okay, every week I'm doing these. It's just I'll do them when I can.
That's the hardest thing. Because everyone's you got to be consistent every 2 weeks. I'm for someone who's monetizing and the podcast is their job, that's probably a lot easier. But when you're running businesses and you got outside life, fuck,
You got a family, you
it's
got a kid, you got a
full-time
missus,
job.
you got
man.
1,000 fucking companies you're running. 100%.
It's fucking hard.
It's not as easy as just sitting down for an hour and having a chat. You got to pay people to come edit it. You got to point out moments, and I'm sure you're a bit of a perfectionist, the same way I am with content. Whereas I can't just give someone a 2-hour podcast and just be like, okay, cool, that's it. But I'll be like, no, at fucking 15 minutes and 40 seconds, this 30-second part is really good.
Yeah.
Caption it this, edit it like this, do these zoom ins, add an effect, add these images, add any
get real
relevant stuff.
hands-on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to be, man. And I'm.
Are you still working with Lockie?
Yeah, of course.
Does he do
Yeah,
a lot
no,
of stuff?
Lockie's still around. He's been working with me for 4 or 5 years, maybe 5 years now.
Yeah, he's very switched on.
Oh,
He's a good
bro,
person to have in your corner.
I'd definitely be fucked without Lockie, that's for sure. But he definitely steers the ship. But
That's
I
fucking
could definitely do with a few extra people working, but at the same time, I need to be more reliable for my staff.
To be able
and I
to be
sometimes
there.
I'll be here today, tomorrow I could be on a plane to fucking
Mexico.
Kazakhstan. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
And that's not to say I can't have a lot of staff. I just need to get a better structure in place. And I've made shitloads of money, and I realized it wasn't the key to happiness. It's a big thing for freedom. It's great. You can look after your family. You can go do nice things. But I'll tell you something, bro. I grew up with no money. I wasn't dirt poor in the slums, but I grew up with no money. I didn't have a lot growing up. But man, I was so happy
Definitely
when
weren't
I was
driving
younger.
around in a Lambo.
No, fuck no. And I'll tell you something though, bro. Driving around in a $500 banged up shitbox car with your mates when you're 16 years old going down the beach is just as nice as driving around with a hot babe in a Lambo, you know what I mean? In fact, I would choose the shitbox car with my boys to drive around, just being dickheads, scraping it on walls and fucking just running amok. Man, I grew up with no money and I was
Why do you think I
extremely
still
happy.
buy VTs and smash them up every week?
Exactly. And that's the thing. And I learned this and I was like, okay, I could hire 4 or 5 more staff. I could produce 5 times the amount of content. I could do this, but at what cost to my mental health is that going to be? Am I going to be extremely stressed? I'm going to be overworking. Will I have no time for friends? Will I not be able to just go on my random trips like I do? And
You don't want to be paying, if you're paying wages, you don't want to have them sitting around. So you're I've got to be creating.
Exactly right. And it comes with pressure as well, which I'm fine with the pressure, but at the same time, I like the fact that I don't currently have, kids or a wife or too much staff or anything that's necessarily forcing me to be here. I can jump on a plane.
Gypsy.
Yeah,
life.
bro.
You can go wherever you
bro,
want.
January was one of the perfect examples of this. I was at home getting ready to go back to Dubai.
Yeah.
And one of my South African friends calls me. This is the 14th of January, maybe 13th. And he's like, yo, I got a spare ticket for Dreekus' fight in Canada. He was fighting Sean Strickland for the UFC middleweight title. And I met these South African boys in Dubai last year. Fucking legends. Amazing people.
Yeah.
Crazy fuckers too, They're all pro fighters or rugby players, just big, good cunts. They love a beer.
Yeah.
And he goes, come out. I said, fuck yeah, all right, I'm coming. So I flew out there. Didn't know any other people were going to be there, just a couple of them. Landed. They all took me in like I've known them my whole life. We had an Airbnb together. The whole fight week was fucking crazy. We went and watched the fights. It was just such an awesome experience. And then when I was drunk, he's like, you got to come back to South Africa. I was like, fuck it, fine. booked a flight to South Africa. I ended up spending 2 and a bit months over in South Africa. I went to Cape Town, Johannesburg. I stayed in Pretoria. And man, I'll tell you, South Africa. I've done a lot of traveling since I was young.
Yeah.
Easily South Africa's top 3 places I've ever visited.
Really?
I could live there so happily. It is
What,
such...
the people or
The people are welcoming. They're friendly. They remind me kind of the type of like they'd be your best of friends and the worst of enemies kind of thing. You wouldn't want to have them all as your enemies.
Yeah.
Because they're big solid fuckers. You know what I mean? But they're also the most friendly people.
Yeah.
They love the same sports as at least I like, you know, cricket, rugby, football, all these things. They love fighting and all this shit, you know. They love a beer, they like to party. It's also very cheap. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you can go out and have a nice fucking steak dinner and a bunch of cocktails. It would be like $20.
Fuck. That's
Like
sick.
it's cheap. The weather's the same as it is here. They're on the same equator line level in Joburg, so the weather's very identical to here.
I mean, that's a big statement. You've been fucking everywhere.
I lived in America, the UK, through Europe, fucking all of Asia. I've seen so much, and dude, it's hands down the food quality, bro. Sorry, Australia, the food quality out there is better.
Really?
Way better. The meat, the fruits, the produce, everything's just so fresh. It's like organically farmed. It's not like chemically bullshit.
You're selling it to me. I'm fucking
Mate, you
going
have to
South
go. And,
Africa.
oh, it's dangerous. So's fucking Logan near Brisbane. So's where Trent lives. Trent lives in the fucking ghetto. No, I'm sorry, brother. But bro, you go down to like Sydney, you go to like fucking Western Sydney. Some of them suburbs are pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
There's dangerous places everywhere. Hate to break it to you, you know, people die everywhere, not just fucking Mexico and fucking South Africa. Like it's South Africa, I think.
It's just if you just
You just
stay
have
in the
to
right area.
You have to have your wits about you, you know.
Yeah.
If you got a fucking half a brain, don't go walking around dark alleys at 1 a.m. drunk alone with a Rolex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same as you wouldn't here in the middle of Sydney by yourself with
Yeah.
expensive shit, you know. But
Nah, people,
bro, I didn't feel in danger once, and I was on the piss for 2 months. I literally drank for 2 months.
but you're also hanging out
straight.
with UFC fighters.
Yeah, and them who are also connected. But mate, I'm telling you, bro, it was just I played a few games of rugby while I was over there. It was just such a random trip, and like it was fucking amazing. The women are beautiful, the people are friendly, they love. Oh, mate, I'm telling you, I can't wait to go back to that country.
Fuck, you're getting a little semi-chubber. Fucking.
Oh, mate, it's gone from 0.5 to 0.8 inches. My fucking little sewing machine cock.
It's like the women are beautiful. Shwing.
Well, I wish I had that blessing. I don't see the pants move at all when I get a stiff.
I reckon that one of the craziest places I've seen you stay was at that Vegas
Penthouse?
Bro, how big was that?
I think it was like 50,000 squared, whatever it means.
Equals MC 50,000.
Equals MC squared LGBTQ IAF ABCDEFG.
That was fucking
It's the largest
ridiculous.
penthouse, I believe, in Vegas and maybe in America. It's at the Westgate. Shout out to the Westgate. They've given us so much free accommodation there. I don't know why. All my following is just bought bots from India, so I don't know why they gave me a free penthouse.
That's one thing. Like, not many stuff I watch. I'm like, fuck, I want to do that. But when I saw that,
it's worth
and the
even.
butlers were mad, eh?
You're fucking rich, bro. Just take Adrian there and buy a few nights. Just go stay there a few nights. You
How
guys
much is
ship
it a
that
night,
money.
do you reckon?
I think it's like 50K, or maybe like 1,000.
If it's 50K and I got 50 people to chip in, it'll
Exactly.
be $1,000 a night.
Yeah, if you're the math
You
up.
probably fit.
Bro, you
50
get
people.
3 butlers that are always there. 3 butlers, a limo service 24/7 that's at the bottom, takes you anywhere you want to go. They cook for you, make sick drinks. Bro, they went down and brought heaps of condoms for us when there was a bunch of girls in the penthouse. They're like, just in case, you know, we want you guys to have condoms. Do you know what these Vegas women are like? And I was like, fucking legends. Like,
That's fucking, yeah.
mate, it was fucking, bro, absolute. And that's actually the first time I met Logan Paul. He was staying in the one next to us because there's 2 on the top level.
Really?
Elvis Presley was his residence when he used to play in Vegas. He would stay there like years and years ago. Same as Michael Jackson. It's a very iconic penthouse. And
Holy shit. Wait, is that how you met Logan Paul?
well, he was in the one next to us, and the Raka Raka boys already knew Logan and Jake pretty well. We woke up in the morning to people knocking on the door, and it was Logan and his cameraman, and they've walked in. This is all on my vlog channel. Next minute, we're
Bro,
doing
that
shots of vodka,
is
playing Uno at
fucking
9 a.m.
hectic.
Yeah, we're all
was
like-
this when you just had the drips?
No, that was a trip I did about a year later, and Shami and Kristen, a few other boys were all around.
Was that the same place?
Same place. And oh, mate, I'm telling you, the penthouse was just, you got your own pool, private spot. Like, it's just, it's one of the most crazy experiences I've ever had was at penthouse. And yeah,
Fuck, might have to get Adrian to fire up the jet
my pelvis was fucked by the end of it
from dancing.
from dancing. Exactly.
That's hectic.
Nah, mate, you've got to 100% check that place out. Bro, they probably would look after you if you said you're going to do a YouTube vlog for them. Even doesn't matter if you get millions of views or a few 100,000 views. I think they just like to have people there.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, I was like, fuck, that's going on the bucket list.
Yep.
You've done a fucking lot of cool shit, though. Probably, it's up to you, but obviously the other one was fucking Maddie.
What about it?
The people are like, what happened?
Like, why did we break up? No, I'm more than happy to talk about that. Me and her stayed on very good terms.
Yep.
You know, we essentially did business together as well. That was never the primary reason of it. We just kind of met up and I just went with the flow. Yeah, man, we just went different ways. I think our futures.
Did she get you into OnlyFans, or were you
I wouldn't blame her for me getting into OnlyFans. I would say I probably wouldn't have been doing OnlyFans had I not have met her.
Yeah.
You know, like I did have an OnlyFans account for pranks and nudie runs and all the crazy shit I couldn't put on the socials.
Yeah.
It was never going to be sexualized content at all. And when we met, she was already doing OnlyFans, her own thing and all that, and she was successful with it all. And then the pandemic happened and I was technically kind of stuck. I wasn't stuck in America. I just didn't want to come back and do quarantine straight away.
Fuck around, yeah.
I ended up doing the quarantine 4 fucking times. But and then I just said, let's just make some like, you know, short, funny kind of 18 plus skits, you know, not porn. And we got like 40. I made that flip the switch video, which you couldn't see like up close penetrating or anything, but it looks like we're fucking. And I just said,
What it is?
We weren't really fucking, no.
Really?
No. And
Fuck, fooled me.
yeah, exactly. That's how small my cock is. And but bro, I said to myself, if I'm doing something like this, I'm an all or nothing kind of person, whether it's a good or bad decision. I'm not fucking going half-assed. So we're making a viral skit. We're putting our watermark in the middle of the video because I know for a fact millions of people are going to share this. Cardi B reshared it to her story.
Yeah, I saw it everywhere.
And I had a watermark everywhere.
Didn't it? But I don't even reckon that would be allowed on Instagram now.
No, fuck no, bro. I lost my Instagram for doing it. And and you know, within 24 hours of me posting all these things, we had 40,000 plus subscribers paying 10 USD a month to our page. We still weren't even considering doing anything sexual. Every message, sex tape, sex tape, sex tape. And I was like, oh, fuck it. You know, like I love this girl. I trust this girl. Like ideally we want to last together and have a nice future. So, you know, I don't care. And we went in and we made fuckloads of money in about 9 months. And then I got the fuck out of it. I didn't overstay my visit. I just like, fuck it, have a good fun year on there. I've always been an edgy content creator. It hasn't ruined anything for me. I'm still making great money.
Is there content out there? Like if people tried to search it, do you reckon?
Nah, there's companies that have like removed all of our leaks and stuff like that from back in the day. It's been, bro, I haven't gone near OnlyFans for years. You know what I mean? It's been a long time. There's so many new creators. There's so many big creators doing it. Like people quickly forget, you know what I mean? Like the people that know me know that I did it, but I mean, people just move on. It's just like, oh, Logan Paul filmed a dead body fucking 5 years ago and now no one even thinks about it. You know, it's just, there's always new things and new people to focus on.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Where some shit happens.
But to go back to your question around the breakup, bro, like it was just getting a little complicated, you know, like we did a bit of long distance in between. I wasn't too, this is going back to my mental state was horrible, man. I was still on that Zoloft stuff. I was probably doing a bit of different drugs that I wasn't usually doing when I was in America and around the crowds I was around. You know, and I wasn't proud of those things back then, but as I always say, I don't regret it. I am who I am and no one's perfect, but,
and you're all good now?
Oh mate, we didn't even have one issue after our breakup. Like
that's awesome.
We stayed really mature, really friendly, really civil. She met someone a few months later, and she's still with him. And it's almost been 2 years. They've probably been together. So
fuck,
like
time, fucking.
And bro,
flies,
honestly, like I am mature and calm and at peace with the whole situation. To say I truly do wish her the best. I hope she's really happy. I hope she's thriving. I hope the new dude looks after her and is treating her well. I'm not petty. I'm like, oh fuck that girl. It's like, no, bro. Like we didn't work out. Like it'd just be an entitled mindset or a selfish, evil mindset for me to just hate someone. I had amazing times with her. She was such a fucking cool, amazing human being.
Yeah.
I can't fault that girl, you know, but, you know, she wanted to have kids pretty soon. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I ever wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to live in America. She didn't know if she wanted to live in Australia. She was willing to live here, but then
That's pretty hectic.
There was a lot of pressure on me.
One of yous were going to have to pack up your whole life.
Exactly right, bro. She had her dog, her friends, her family. And you know what girls are like? They've got their like hair people, their makeup, their nails, the little things that girls really appreciate and are important to them.
feel home, yeah.
And you know, she'd come out here and stay a month or two, and I would feel this wasn't her fault. This was my fault. She would constantly reassure me she was okay and everything was sweet. Like, but I would just feel this pressure and this like feeling of guilt if I was constantly out. With the boys.
She's got people that she hung out with, but she wouldn't have a...
No, she had like no one here to really hang out with. You know what I mean? And I would feel a bit bad. And that's just because I am actually like a good person inside and I don't want to like bring someone all the way over from the other side of the world and have them just sit in my house by themselves until it suits me.
Yeah.
And I just had to kind of be like, look, I'm in a good spot. I don't know what I want and I can't give you clarity or any consistency right now. And we had some pretty wild things happen and a few insecurities happen in amongst a few things. And as anything, there's the good and the bad. And honestly, man, the good outweighed the bad by a mile.
That's awesome.
And we just we had a little argument, but just before the breakup. about some other crap going on, and yeah, she was the one that mentioned it to me because we broke up about 3 or 4 months before the official breakup, and that was me. Yeah, I came home to Oz. I was in quarantine, and I was like, no, I don't think I can do this. I'm sorry, I can't give you what you want. You know, I want to just be alone and figure my own life out. I really need to work on myself. I can't devote and commit myself and be my best self for you when I am the way I am right now, and it sucks, and it probably hurt her, but we ended up like trying again. And just said, look, if we end up like one of them couples that's just constantly breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, just for the sake of avoiding heartache and drama, it's just toxic. And we said, let's just stick to it next time. And, you know, some shit happened. She brought it up and she's like, maybe we need to do this. I said, you know what? You're right. I agree. I'm not going to fight for it. Maybe I should have. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. Yeah. And I said, look, I agree. I said, let's just go our separate ways. We still have business together. There was money still being made together. I said, there's no need for us to hate each other. I understand that right now it's going to be hard to just be friends because we've been so close for these last couple of years. But yeah, man, for the most part, it's been great. She met someone pretty quickly, which is a good result for me. I would much prefer my ex meeting just a nice, normal boyfriend
instead of like,
as opposed to going and jumping on every cock in LA, like most LA girls would have.
Yeah.
You know, so bro, it worked out great. She's a sweetheart and I wish her all the best in life.
Fuck, that's awesome. And then where does that leave you now? Do you think,
I've got a girlfriend right now. Just no one knows.
I don't even know if this cunt's been.
Nah, that's a fucking fib. No. I'm telling a porcupine.
So you're just happy doing your thing, or if you meet the right girl?
Mate, I have not came even remotely close to dating someone, let alone a relationship since Maddie. I've been
just fucking them.
Very single. I've barely even hung out. Yeah, even the fucking side, you know, the having sex has been
slowed down a bit.
Definitely, bro. I went pretty wild the first few months after the breakup, as I think some people do. I think it was just a coping mechanism or an escape, just trying to find out, because I was pretty good the first couple of months after. I was like, okay, it is what it is. This is meant to happen. And she was pretty hurt. And then it kind of flipped.
Yeah,
month
I feel
3,
like it always happens with guys and girls. And
I'm more than happy to put myself out there. I'm an open book, bro. I'll be vulnerable. I'll be honest. I'll be upfront. I don't give a shit what people say or judge or whatever. You know, I'm happy to speak my mind. And, you know, I really struggled for about a good 3 or 4 months. Around that 3rd month sort of period, I was like, it set in. I was like, fuck. I'm alone now. I don't have this. I don't have that. Like, she was a really good girlfriend too.
So you end up just getting girls over for companionship.
Kind of, yes. But then I kind of got to the point where I was like, nah, this is making it worse. Because I'd hang out with girls, and the old me would just bounce from the next girl to the next girl. You know, I'd be like, okay, cool. Now I'm dating this girl, even if it's for a few months. At least it distracts my brain from the breakup. This time I was like, nah, I'm getting older. It's time to just grow the fuck up, be a man, and face these problems. You can't just keep, you know, shutting off the brain and your emotions and your feelings with partying or women or whatever it might be. And I said, I'm not going to hang out with any girls anymore for a while. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go out. I got my shit together. I got my spine surgery. I launched the focus stuff. You know, I did my podcast. I did a whole bunch of stuff just to keep myself in a healthy, productive state. And because I found when I would hang out with a girl, a bunch of times I would still be kind of comparing certain things to the old relationship. And I'm like, fuck.
She wouldn't do that.
No, exactly. And then that would just be like,
Trigger it.
Exactly. It would trigger me to start really hurting again. And I'd be like, fuck, now I'm just going through this pain again because I'm not meeting girls that are even half as good as my ex.
Yeah.
So I just said, no, I'm ruling that out. I'm not even going to like sleep with girls because if I sleep with them, they're going to hang out with them more and more and more. And
that's when you started sleeping with guys.
Exactly. That's when I started fucking boys. Copping cocks in my gut. But nah, man, it was a really, really wild journey for me. It's been a very interesting journey for me these years, that's for sure.
It's definitely something that you just mates don't talk about, blokes don't talk about, or maybe even girls, but breakups can like fucking send you off the rails. Like,
mate, it was
how
horrible.
weird is it? Just like, it's not like you're losing a leg, but fuck it.
Oh, mate, it's challenging. Anyone that says breakups are easy, just lying to themselves.
Or they hated the.
Yeah, all that. You know, there is times I have ended things with like girls in the past, and it's been very easy. And I think that's an indicator that it wasn't meant to be, and it probably wasn't a great person.
But when you like someone and you split, even if it's
because we were
mutual.
good, man. Like me, I've only really had 2 long-term relationships, and with both of them were pretty good for the most part. You know, and it took me a while to get my life kind of used to things, and you know, you question a lot. You go through stages where you're like, fuck, am I going to be good enough for anyone ever again? Am I ever going to find someone again? And bro, it's been over 2 years of being single. It's the longest I've been single my whole adult life.
I feel like the longer it is, the easier it gets too. The longer
Mate, I'm just so content being alone at home in my own peace, knowing that someone's not bringing drama or stress. I am more than ready and more than willing to commit to a person now.
If you found the right person.
If I met the right girl, bro, 100%, I would now become probably like a better partner than I've been for anyone in the past. And, you know, it sounds kind of shitty to the people that have had to deal with me not being my best, but I think no one is perfect. And sometimes it takes mistakes to become a better person. And I'm pretty proud of who I am now. And if I was to meet someone, they're going to get the best version of me, a good, loyal, loving, supportive version of me. And that's what they probably deserve. And I just haven't met someone or even really tried to just yet. I haven't put myself in the situations.
It's funny you say that when you started just getting back into work and focusing on that, and because obviously I'll get dudes messaging me like, fuck, I broke up with my missus, I'm a mess, I'm off work. I'm like, first thing I say is like, man, fucking start hustling, get to work. That's the only thing that is going to fix your life. And like, get in the gym, go back to work. The longer you start pulling yourself away from gym, work, fucking, and like, you know, when cunts just go on fucking benders and it just goes like a spiral.
You just, it's like a Band-Aid. You're holding off from the inevitable, I guess, you know, essentially. And you need to face
rip it off and just
exactly right, bro. That's exactly right. And your advice is great. Like, get in the gym, do a bit of exercise. It's not about getting fucking body dysmorphia and having to be jacked and shredded and whatever. It's just about, it's so good for your mental health to exercise. It doesn't have to be a fucking 5-hour weights workout in the gym. You can go for a nice light walk or a run. Just move your body, do a stretch, just get your fucking blood moving, because you'll start liking the way you look a little bit more in the mirror, which is always going to boost your confidence and your mental state. And then, you know, you're going to have more energy if you're working out and eating right, which then you can you know, what's the word? You can then put that kind of energy into something. You can channel that energy into positive things with business or work or relationships and friendships. And
I always say that it's like bad shit happens to everyone. There's always going to be bad shit happen to everyone. It's how you deal with it. And shit like that, you can go a fork in the road. You can sit on your couch, stalk her Instagram, sit on a blanket, stay in, not talk to anyone, and then go on benders and fucking go get strippers over with the boys and fucking get bags and do this. And all you're doing is just going fucking spiraling downhill. Or you go the other way, like fork in the road. You go, fuck it, I'm going to man up. I'm going to fucking get back in the gym, feel good, smash work, or start my side hustle, and it's the same bad thing that's happened, but you got two complete different outcomes.
Just kind of pick your poison. They're both going to be hard. It's just one's going to be very rewarding and last longer. And it's like you said, if you do build a side hustle, build a business, or put just time into yourself and get away from the partying and away from temporary, gratification of quick sex or one night stands or whatever, because that stuff, you know, as corny as it sounds, people say it is an energy exchange when you have sex. And I believe that, you know, it's not just a matter of just fucking someone and then it's next, whatever. It's like sometimes it lingers and it lasts and things will happen. But I think taking a break from that scene, taking a break from putting your energy into other people, work on yourself, get in better shape, build a business thing, start. And you're naturally over time going to attract way better quality people. You know, because someone will see you and you're like, oh, he's a hardworking dude. He's in shape. He obviously takes himself seriously. You're going to attract better people as opposed to what you would if you're just on drugs, drinking, partying, fucking different girls every night. I've been there, 100%. I've been there in the past, you know, and it wasn't what people think. It's fun for a little while, and then you're just sitting around one night, you're like, fuck, what's happening? You know, and you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, fuck, no, I need to sort this out.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to sign an NDA to bang one girl. Really? I'm obviously saying that I can't say. I'll tell you after. Allegedly, but yeah, I had to sign an NDA, and
you should have thrown an NDA back at her.
Oh no, she makes me look like chump change.
That's fucking.
She got a very lot of followers. This girl.
I know who it is then. No, I'm joking.
No, like, yeah.
I was actually that was the last one I didn't get to ask you. Is there anything that you've done that you regret? No, everything's just been a lesson.
I thought about it. I've thought about this a lot.
What about how'd you fuck your back? Was that a stunt?
Nah, not really, bro. I think my back problems just kind of gradually got worse. I played footy, like for anyone overseas who thinks footy is soccer, it's not soccer. Soccer is for LGBT community. But I played rugby for about 11 or 12 years, and I played a lot. Sometimes I play a couple of games in a week, and I loved it. I was a fucking aggro child, I had a lot of energy, and playing a lot of sport, there's probably wear and tear damage without you even noticing when you're young because you don't really feel that shit.
Yep.
When I stopped playing around 22-ish, I think I was. And I also did bricklaying, which probably wasn't good for my back.
Probably not.
And my form was bad. And then obviously starting the videos with things like Shami, like he oiled up the stairs and I tumbled down the stairs right down my tailbone and back. And that hurt like fuck. Got hit by a car like for a little stunt thing on a farm once. I went to jump up and kick a boxing bag really high and I came down flat on concrete. Like,
fuck, you've actually done.
I've stacked it off like little motorbikes
shit.
and just went straight into walls. Like I've had a lot of accidents and a lot of injuries, And I think it just all built up, and I ignored it. I didn't do any physio. I didn't take care of it. I just ignored it. It's like, no, toughen up, just ignore it. And then it came out of nowhere, bro. I got to the point where it was just, mate, the pain was just, I can deal with physical pain, but it's just what the pain causes is like that fatigue, no energy, no motivation. Your confidence goes down. And when you can't train hard, you're like, fuck it, I'll eat shit. And if you're eating shit, you feel even worse. It's just a big snowball effect. Chronic pain is such a bad thing, and it's just, oh man, I'm telling you, bro, it's like, if anyone out there is suffering from chronic pain, whether you got fucking knee problems, hip problems, back problems, whatever it is, like, get onto that shit. Like, if you think it's going to make you broke, do it. Still fucking do it. Because I tell you, I spent $100,000 on my spine surgery, and it's if I had health care or health insurance or private health, whatever, I probably could have got it a lot cheaper, but I didn't. And I said I would happily give up all my properties, give up every item that I have got to have my physical health. And that was a big pivotal moment for me, because I was like, okay, if you would give up everything you own for physical health and like to feel good, what is the importance of the kind of money side? And obviously there's important things about money, you need it. But I was like, okay.
To the point where you're damaging yourself.
Exactly, bro. So that's when I kind of clicked. I was like, you know what? I just want to feel good and just take care of my body a little bit. I still love to drink and have a fucking wild time. Like, South Africa was fucked, bro. Like, I went hunting and I was doing some pretty wild shit when we were hunting. I had to wrestle. I tore my Achilles, my ATFL, did a syndesmosis injury. My calf was torn off the fucking bone pretty much. Like, I did a lot of horrible injuries while I was away. A couple of concussions. I fucking tore my shoulder, popped a rib. Like, that was a pretty crazy trip. That's not me looking after myself. That's contradicting what I was saying before. But since I've been... But since I've been home the last 2-3 months, I've only drank once, which was my birthday. You know, I've been physio, chiro, massages, like saunas. I've been stretching every day, doing my rehab drills and my training. My body's feeling fucking pristine. I'm really, really fucking eager and adamant just to get in that ring. I just need to kill someone, bro. I need to see someone just
That'll be good. That'll go
die. Oh, I can't wait, bro. Like, people look at me as a goof and an idiot and stuff and don't realize I am a very competitive person in sports. Yeah. I've always been loving sports and stuff my whole life. I've watched combat sports my whole life. Not to say I'm a good fighter at all, but I fucking love
your fucking best crack.
I love the training behind it. I think a lot of these American and people, like the YouTubers and all these people, they don't have any dog in them. As long as if they can't knock me out, like, good fucking luck. Like, good luck beating me if you can't knock me out. You have to 100% be able to knock me out. Otherwise, I'm going to be in that face, laughing, spitting blood, fucking giggling, just dancing, doing dumb shit. Like,
so it's going to be a good watch.
I have put myself through so much worse physical pain than what anyone can do with a pair of boxing gloves. I tell you that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I mean, fuck, I actually never really realized the repercussions you would have had from some of these videos.
Oh, bro, jumping on the rake. I don't even remember doing that. I jumped on a rake in Bunnings, and it was when Shami dared me to jump on a rake. I don't even remember doing it. It was I wasn't knocked out cold. I just couldn't like get up properly, and it was fucked. It was like that is probably the only video I do regret.
But it just come up, hit you that hard.
Oh, mate, I jumped on a rake, and it was a thick. It wasn't hollow. It was a thick, like, fucking wood rake, and bro, it was just cracked me right there, and I just dropped, and I was like, couldn't get up. And I just remember walking out. I was like around Sham, and he was just helping me like walk to the car. And it was just bright, and then I went home and I slept, and oh man, I was pretty fucking.
You're probably lightly concussed.
It was 1,000,000% a concussion. I don't remember doing it.
Fuck.
Which is definitely concussion. And I fractured my skull when I was younger on the back of a ute. You know what I mean? So I've had a few head knocks and that, but and I had a couple of concussions when I was away in South Africa as well. But
bro, no wonder you fucking can't keep making. And was it you? You had some like charges from some of the videos. Was that you?
I've never been like charged criminally. No,
I saw like Powerfish got charged for what do you do?
Oh, he put like a car into the ocean, which is pretty bad with all the oil and fuel and all that. Yeah. You can't do that. It's funny. It's funny as fuck. Yeah. But you can't do that.
Have you had anything come back like I feel like someone else?
I mean, you can do that. He did do that, but I mean, it's just like you can't do it without repercussions.
Some other people doing pranks.
Oh, being the Raka twins filled a car up with water and drove it to the bottle shop. The car was filled with water.
Bro, that was hectic. Did you get charged for that?
No, one of one of the guys that drove, which was Michael from Raka, he had to go to court. It was very funny when he was on the news for that. But it just turns out it's like there's no written law in the law book.
It says you can't drive underwater.
You can't drive a car that's filled with water. you know, and that video went so viral.
They
Like,
probably didn't think that was going to happen, so they probably didn't put it in
and bro,
the rule
those
book.
boys are fucking killing it, mind you. Whilst I'm on here, I just wanted to give those boys a mention.
Oh,
They
bro,
are-
I just saw they finished that movie.
Mate, they're doing another movie now. They signed to do a Street Fighter film. They've just did their movie.
Bullshit.
Well, their movie last year, their debut film in Australia, Talk to Me, the horror film. Everyone was watching that last year. It went pretty viral, that Talk to Me movie. Those boys are fucking legends, man. Like, I spent a good amount of time with them in LA, living short term. We were in Airbnbs together for months, and they just be writing their scripts every night. They're just bogan Aussie dudes.
Bro, you can tell. I followed them when I first started seeing him was with the angry Ronald McDonald shit. And then I just watched their videos get more hectic, and I'm like, fuck, these boys are like learning, like.
But they're the funniest
software,
fucking
tech.
guys. When we were staying at that pen, because they stayed at that penthouse with me in Vegas, we're down in the casinos and stuff, just doing some gambling, and then they're walking around in a pair of trackies that are dragging along the floor with no shoes on, barefoot in a bougie casino with just like a $20 cheap outfit on. And they're making
don't
good
give a
money.
fuck, yeah.
Bro, they were getting paid like $100,000 to do like a brand deal for like, I don't know, an app company or whatever it is.
Back
They'll-
then?
Oh yeah, maybe back then, but they get like, say if they got given $100,000 to make a video for like a brand or a product, they would probably spend $120,000 to make it, and and they go backwards. They're masters of their craft. Like, they are so passionate about what they do, and to see their movie do so well, it's fucking amazing, because there's no one that deserves it like them.
Even the fact that it's an Aussie movie do so well. You know,
it's
like,
just Joe Rogan got them on their podcast.
Yeah,
they went on Joe Rogan. They've been posted everywhere. The movie,
and they were just from Adelaide or something.
yeah,
weren't they?
yeah, and they won a lot of awards for that film, and it boosted a lot of economy down there in Adelaide too, from bringing the film out here and all these things. So
Fucking good on them.
big credit to them, bro. To see a couple of young Aussie YouTubers, you know, who've been around from day dot. They've been very OG YouTubers.
Yeah.
And, you know, like just two bogan young Aussie fucking
Bro,
wild
fucking
cunts.
honestly, it G's me up seeing like the amount of because when we grew up, there was no Aussie rappers, no Aussie actors, no Aussie. Well, when I say no, there was very minimal.
360 and Cursor.
Yeah, and like now you look in like the A1 on Spotify top charts, just fucking you see Hooligan Hairs, like heaps of people in there, and then even actors. Like these boys have made a full Aussie movie that's gone fucking to the
they're killing
movies and shit. They're I love seeing all these fucking Aussies like now. Maybe it's because of the connection now with social media. Other like external, the rest of the world can actually see the talent over here, and maybe that's what it is. But I don't remember this many Aussies making it when we were young.
No, it's definitely opening up a lot of opportunities, and there's people paving the way for people in the future too. You know, like whether it's people like Hooligan Hefts or the Raka guys who are in the, you know, the arts kind of world, whether music or acting or dancing, whatever it might be. They're now showing, okay, cool. Even UFC fighters, you got like Volkanovski, Robert Whittaker, Tai Tuivasa. You got all these guys like from Oz that are killing it in the UFC, doing well, who are like, okay, maybe we need to keep our eyes on up and coming Aussie fighters, because there's a lot of good fighters out here, you know.
Yeah, I mean Aussies are fucking born to fight. Eh? They go to the pub when they're 18,
Convicts.
fucking punch 20 cunts, and then
Fucking oath. Grow up pretty rough.
fuck. No, well, that's I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, it is good, and it inspires like, you know, all these younger kids to go, fuck, I can do it. Like, because we grew up where I was like, fuck, you only go to Hollywood if you're American. You only be a rapper if you're fucking Snoop Dogg. You're only like, but now like there's probably a lot of young kids that are seeing like people they sort of know, or even Adrian getting on the fucking rich list, like young billionaire. Like when I was young, I thought you had to be fucking Steve Jobs or this, and now like Adrian Portelli from the West Melbourne.
No, it's fucking impressive, and it's well deserved, and it's just fucking, it's inspiring to a lot of people. Like people that just to see someone, whether they want to be billionaires or not, they're like, oh wow, it's possible. You know what I mean? And it does, and it sparks a good positive fuse in people, I think, you know, instead of seeing fucking criminals and shit like that, you're seeing like good, genuine, humble people winning and making a lot of money and doing very well. It will like spark that motivation to make them want to start doing better.
Yeah. No, it is fucking awesome. Well, bro, I'm fucking stoked that I thought you were going to answer a couple of questions, but
Oh, mate, you could ask me anything.
you're an open book, are you?
I am shy of nothing, and I regret nothing, and I will speak of everything.
Thanks for thanks for being open about everything. There was a lot of people were asking a lot of questions. I was like, fuck, I don't know if he's going to answer it.
Fucking cowabunga, dude.
Trying to get me going state to state, blowing tires off the rim that them haters hate. ECM label, getting major pay, but get your rough ticks now, cause we give it away. Got a Ranger, got a clubby, got an AMG, and Lord knows I wanna rim back that VT. Taking tires off the moped, man in Bali, cause I never do a song